welcome back to Access Anime. My name is Henshin Ikeda, and today I'll be doing a walkthrough review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Episode 17. Now, if you remember from last episode, we're taken to Venice, where we're introduced to Zeppelin's teacher, which goes by the name of Lisa. Now, Lisa actually attacks JoJo right off the bat and puts on a little mask and tells JoJo to not take it off. It's going to make you stronger. That's one hell of a way to introduce yourself to your new student. But then again, JoJo did not have any manners to begin with, so it was kind of awkward to begin with. Now, moving on past that, we're taken to the Isla Plana, which is a private little island which is owned by Lisa, and it's going to be the new training ground for both JoJo and Zeppeli. Now, we are taken to a different scene. Now, apparently, the Hell Climb Pillar is being introduced. Apparently, it's this new training event that Lisa introduces to both JoJo and Zeppeli and throws them right into it and says you have to complete it. Now, you have to use Ripple Energy because that's the only way you can get out. Now, Zeppeli is the first one to actually finish within 61 hours. JoJo really doesn't complete it. In fact, he has Zeppeli's help, so kind of so sad, too bad for JoJo. He needed Zeppeli's help to complete it. Now, of course, toward the end of the episode, we're introduced to two more characters by the name of Misana and Login. Now, they work right underneath Lisa as their assistants. So Lisa has two little helpers, and they'll be training both JoJo and Zeppeli. And apparently there's 7 days left. So that month has gone real quick, in my opinion. 7 days left? Wow. And again, that's where the episode ends, and I'll hold my final thought and rating at the end of the clip, so stay tuned. Let's dive right on in. So we open up this episode with the Pillar Men. Kind of interesting. Apparently they have the red stone of Asia. However, they need a stone without a single flaw. So apparently they have dozens of these little stone masks being tossed on the ground, and they're ripping like little red crystals out. But each one of them have flaws, so they're just throwing them away. And apparently they need a super Asia, if that makes any sense, a super crystal that's flawless, and they have yet to find it. However, we are taken to a different scene with Lisa, and she's trying to explain. This is like a little information that's being thrown right at us. So Lisa is trying to explain the creator of the stone mask is Cars. I'm like, Cars is the creator of the stone masks? Well, okay, I mean, he is like 2,000 years old, whatnot, so I guess it makes sense. So Cars actually is the creator of the stone mask, so that's kind of interesting. And apparently Lisa also points out he's also the smartest among the Pillar Men. I'm like, I thought AC/DC was the smartest. I mean, Wham is kind of the slave, but you know, Cars, well, he doesn't talk a lot, so you know, I think he probably is the smartest, but still, AC/DC, in my opinion, probably is the strongest, but just putting that out there, but sorry, I digress. Moving on, now we do find out the Pillar Men have actually crossed the Atlantic. Now, Lisa also goes on to explain a couple other different things, but we're introduced to a new character. Her name is Suzy Q, and she's actually Lisa's maid, and she's giving Lisa the super crystal. Yeah, that super Asia, that red crystal, apparently that's what the Pillar Men are actually looking for, and Lisa's the one that has it. Things just got interesting. How did you get that, Lisa? I mean, what's the significance? I mean, I'm just curious. At the same time, Lisa has Super Asia literally right in her hand, and it looks like a jewel, like something part of like the crown jewels per se. So we're taken to a different scene with Lisa, and apparently it's time for the final lesson. So she basically tells Zeppeli and JoJo, Zeppeli, you're going to be fighting Misana, and JoJo, you're going to be fighting Login. I'm like, oh, this just got interesting. I like this. I'm smiling. I'm like, okay, sweet. So you got like two different fights going on, and then Lisa goes off and does her own little thing. She's not even going to watch anything. So we're taken to a different scene with JoJo, and he's really psyched. He can't wait to fight Login. However, this is what I did not see coming. I don't care who you are. I didn't see this coming. I'm like, we see Login, and he's dead. We were just introduced to this guy last episode. We know nothing about him, and he's dead. So JoJo sees Login, and Login is dead on the ground, and apparently he was murdered by AC/DC. AC/DC pops out of nowhere, and he did kill Login. I'm like, what? I mean, he has 6 days left until the actual, you know, their month's up, so what's AC/DC doing there? We really don't know. So apparently now it's AC/DC versus JoJo. I was like, oh yeah, hey, this got more interesting in my opinion. So we see AC/DC versus JoJo. Now AC/DC's arm has been torn right off, and I love it. So JoJo got the first hit in, and it was pretty amazing in my opinion. But remember, we saw Dio in the past episodes, how he was able to bring himself back if he lost a limb. So seeing AC/DC's arm being torn off, nothing new. So I'm not really, you know, didn't do anything for me. Of course, we are taken to a different scene with AC/DC, and it's a big WTF. I shit you not. We see AC/DC start crying after he loses an arm, and I thought, wait, is this login pretending to be, AC/DC just to build up, JoJo's self-confidence or something? No, it's not. It's really AC/DC, ironically, and AC/DC is crying over his arm being cut off. Apparently, out of all the Pillar Men, he's the most emotional, and he was just trying to calm himself down. But still, crybaby, man. I did not see that coming. I was like, dude, you got an issue? Here's a tissue, man. Seriously, you're fighting. You don't cry. Sorry, I digress. Now, apparently, he actually takes Login's arm. I was like, I guess that's the spoils of war, right? I mean, he defeated Login, so his body's his, technically. So we see AC/DC taking Login's arm, even though he's dead, and he takes, Login's arm, and he just reconnects it. I'm like, JoJo just can't read him now. JoJo cannot read anything from, AC/DC. It's like, I can't figure you out, man. What are you going to do next? So I was like, wow, JoJo lost? Doesn't know what to do? Something's not up. I don't buy that for a second. So there's a little information being thrown at us. Apparently, AC/DC can control flames. So we see Login's body, and the blood that went into Login, which was from AC/DC, is now boiling inside of Login, and his body's melting. And that's where we find out, guess what? AC/DC can control flames. Apparently his blood can get really hot. And I was like, wow. That's definitely pretty cool in my opinion. I like that. So we're taking to a different scene with JoJo. And yes, JoJo throws his clacker volley at AC/DC, and it does absolutely nothing. Go figure. So we're taking to a different scene with AC/DC, and AC/DC uses the Phantom Blaze King mode. And it's a direct hit on JoJo, and I loved it, because JoJo definitely had it coming, in my opinion. It's a little cocky. Come on, JoJo, you're getting a little cocky. It's been barely 1 month, and you're getting a little cocky. So we're taking to a different scene with Zeppeli versus Misana. So I can't wait to see this fight. And guess what? Misana forfeits, and he basically tells Zeppeli, guess what? You're stronger. All this training we've been doing has paid off. You're stronger. So, I forfeit. You win. Now, Zeppeli actually does check on JoJo. He has a pair of binoculars, and he's looking at JoJo, and he notices AC/DC. So he's a little freaked out. So we are taking to a different scene with JoJo. Now, apparently, JoJo's mask has been struck by AC/DC, and it has come off. I was like, it's not supposed to come off for about 1 month, so I was like, what's this going to mean? How strong is JoJo really going to be? We really don't know, but all we know is AC/DC definitely took out JoJo's little oxygen mask. I was like, this just got more interesting. Now, apparently, we're taking to a different scene with AC/DC, and he actually uses the Phantom. I think I got this name right. This name is freaking huge. Like, why would you ever name a technique this? It's called the Phantom Blaze King Cartwheel Prison Mode. I think that's how you say it. I'll say it one more time if you're listening. AC/DC uses this technique, which is freaking long to pronounce. It's called the Phantom Blaze King Cartwheel Prison Mode. I know the cartwheel just jumps at you, like, ugh. I mean, it's so long. I mean, it was impressive to see it, but come on, the Phantom Blaze King Cartwheel Prison Mode? And a long name. Now, JoJo actually dodges it regardless, so it's a hit and miss. So JoJo isn't affected. However, JoJo's plan, he had a backup plan set in motion, fails. I'm like, JoJo, what's going on, man? You're losing your mojo. So obviously we're taken to a different scene. Now apparently it's with Misana, and Misana just tells Zeppeli in general, forget about JoJo, he's too far away. Even if we get to him, it'll, that little fight's going to be over. So he takes Zeppeli with him, and they're going to protect Lisa as their backup plan. So they're planning on, if JoJo loses, to basically be at Lisa's side to protect her, since she has the crystal that, the Pillarmen actually want. So I was like, I don't know if I like this side of Misana. He seems kind of weak, kind of pussying out early in the fight, if you know what I mean. However, we are taken to a different scene now. Apparently, he's sitting down for this. There's a lot of focus in general on this red crystal, because that's the main thing that everyone wants. However, we're taken to a different scene with JoJo. Now, JoJo definitely just surprises us out of nowhere. He's got this surprise, like he's got this little trap set up that we thought already failed. No, it didn't fail. JoJo had a backup plan within a plan, and he surprises AC/DC with the rope magic, little trick of the hands. So like, rope magic, ha 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 ha, rope magic. That's a good one. But yeah, he actually uses something called the Ripple Overdrive beat, and it's amazing. I love seeing this. That was JoJo's ace in his sleeve, and I love seeing this. And AC/DC is defeated already? What? He's a Pillar Man. I mean, Santa Fe was, a Pillar Man, but not the strongest. And he wasn't even defeated that way. He's like in a coma. Now, if you think about it, AC/DC is supposed to be stronger than Wham, and he was defeated just like that by JoJo. and now JoJo, like you see him picking up, AC/DC's little nose ring that has the antidote, and he puts it, he drinks it kind of, and we do see the little ring that's on JoJo's trachea disintegrate, and again, AC/DC is defeated. Holy crap, his body's been destroyed. I was like, wow. So it just got interesting, and toward the end of the episode, as we see JoJo leaving, as he defeated, AC/DC, we see something on JoJo's back. Now, I don't know if that's part of AC/DC latching onto JoJo, or if that was in reference to the last ring that's on JoJo's heart. I still don't really know, because it was kind of an interesting ending. But again, that's where the episode ends. As for final thoughts, well, first of all, is AC/DC really dead? Was that just for show? We really don't know. It looks legit, in my opinion. And moving on past that, now that we know that AC/DC has been defeated, or if he has been defeated, where does Wham sit on this? How is he going to be any different? Isn't his master stronger than him? Doesn't that mean Wham's pretty much going to be a pushover? And we really don't know. As for Cars, think about this. If he's the smartest among the Pillar Men, and he's the one that created the stone mask, what's going to happen next? What's his next move? We really don't know. But again, that is it for my final thoughts. As per my rating, 3.5 out of 5. I want to give this a 4, but I wasn't feeling it. I'm giving this a 3.5 out of 5, mostly because the information was kind of there. There wasn't any romance or drama, so I'm not going to go there. Fighting-wise, okay, AC/DC, versus JoJo, I loved it, but it could have been more. I mean, AC/DC is stronger than Wham, technically, and he's one of the strong Pillar Men, and I thought he was supposed to be better than the Santana fight, but it wasn't, so I felt kind of robbed. So, final rating, 3.5 out of 5. And that is it for my walkthrough review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure episode 17. But definitely comment down below, let me know, thumbs up, thumbs down, definitely subscribe, check me out on Twitter, and follow me if you like. But let me know what you thought of this episode, and let me know what you think's going to happen in the next episode that's coming out. But again, guys, that ends it for now, and I've got one more walkthrough review to do today, so definitely stay tuned for that. Before I go, I gotta say it, and I always say it, you can't stop the access, but you can watch the feed. I'll see you later, guys.